Good morning. This is Bill from Auto Europe in Naples, and today I have one of the greatest cars of all time. I know I say that a lot, but it's always true, and it's not even to be argued with in this particular instance. This is a 2003 Mercedes-Benz AMG SL55 Roadster. AMG was started by two buddies back in the late 60s in Germany. They decided to start making racing engines, tuning Mercedes vehicles. In the late 60s, early 70s, they made what's affectionately called the Red Sow. It's where they took this big 300 SL sedan and turned it into a road course warrior. They, Spa 24 hours, Le Mans, that sort of thing. It was the kind of the equivalent of taking the Queen Mary and making it an offshore powerboat racer. But its success is what prompted AMG to keep going and to build a wide series of cars for many, many years, till eventually being bought and wholly owned by Mercedes-Benz itself. For a long time, they were just sort of rogue tuners. They were probably a pain in Mercedes-Benz rump, because they did such an incredible job taking an already fine car and turning it into a performance monster. If you remember the 1980s and, Miami Vice, it was all AMG cars driving, candy, brandy wine paint, big alloy wheels, ground effects, some sort of nefarious looking character getting out of them and shooting everyone. It was a terrific era in time. And of course, then in 1990, AMG sort of started a partnership with Mercedes until eventually they got owned by the whole shebang. And anyway, one of the legacies of that is this particular car. This is an 03, again, SL55. So they took what was kind of already, sort of a supercar from Mercedes-Benz, and they made it better. And that's to be very much lauded. They took, Mercedes' big V8 engine, they pumped out the displacement, they added a supercharger, they tuned the top end and got it to 493 horsepower, an absolutely massive number for 2003. This thing is limited to about 160 miles an hour electronically, but some enterprising Germans and other types have removed that limiter, and this thing will run all the way to 208. They just don't make a tire that will contain it, but it would go that fast. So we don't recommend doing that. I think 155 is enough for most situations, your parking lots and highways and driveways and such. But either way, it's a blast. And just look at this thing. Okay, so now here it is. This particular car, 03, 41,000 miles, one owner. Black outside, charcoal inside, those big 18-inch 5-star alloys. It's got saucers, dinner plates for brakes. Look at the big disc brakes on that thing. 6-piston up front, and that thing will just drag it down to a stop and send your face forward. Absolutely incredible performance. The V8 compressor badging, right away this is not a standard SL. These things were up in the $120,000, $130,000 range based on performance and amenities, and it sure shows. Look at the quad pipes in the bottom. Of course, the sport package styling. AMG shortens the designation. So instead of an SL500, with 3 numbers indicating engine, this is an SL55 with 2 numbers. And of course, the famous AMG badge. AMG, of course, is the first guy's name, his last name, the second guy's last name, and the G is the town where they came from. So there's a little AMG history for you. All right, so let's start with this. This is a folding hardtop convertible. It has keyless go, which means that I can lock the car by pressing this guy right here, and I can open it just by putting my hand on the handle and pulling it. Now that's accomplished with this key card. That's that big guy here. Of course, they've gotten smaller over time, but that will work for you. So what I'm going to do is hop in. We're going to fire up this monster V8. Oh, God, the sound of that. And I'm going to run down the top. To do that, we simply pull back on this flap. See, the trunk comes up from the reverse position. Windows go down, and the folding hardtop goes away. Now, I should have pointed out the Alcantara headliner on that top before we put it down, but it's also on the A-pillar, so have a look there. But that, again, is just part of the additional materials. Let's get our defrost on, too. We got a bit of a muggy morning. Right here you can see that beautiful sort of suede look that continues into the headliner. Absolutely lovely. So now let me do a quick walk around the car with it idling menacingly so you can get a feel for how this thing looks as an open top roadster. We're going to deploy our screen there that keeps the noise and wind down as you're driving around, and you can see what a gorgeous, gorgeous vehicle. Look at that, those big xenon headlamps up front, the star in the grille, Formula One style air dam at the bottom. Very fresh Michelin tires running on those AMG rims. The thing is just drop dead gorgeous. And there's that big menacing V8 sound. Look at the LED lamps. Listen to that. Vicious, absolutely vicious. Now, it's a nice big trunk in these cars, except when the top down. And oh my God, how do you get to anything? Well, here's a cool feature. You press this guy right here, up comes the top to a position where you can sort of get in there and get at your stuff. So, very, very nice. And if we have a look under the hood, actually, let me shut it off so you don't have to hear that. Well, it's a nice thing to hear, but still. All right, under the hood, there is a 5.4 liter supercharged V8 putting out 493 horsepower. Each engine build is signed by the assembler. That's that plaque right there. You can see this thing is in fantastic shape. Again, for one owner car, 41,000 miles. It's just been beautifully maintained. There you see a Mercedes battery. That means someone paid more for a battery than they needed to. That's the kind of guy who changes his oil and puts on Michelin. So you're getting something that's been very well maintained. What a absolute monster under the hood. All right, inside you can see the beautiful graphite leather, absolutely gorgeous. Has the AMG badge stamped in the back, really, really attractive. Two-tone black and graphite, just beautiful to look at. It has the orthopedic seats, very nice feature. Sport steering wheel with paddles. I actually got them back there. Have a look at that. There they are. Of course, all your stocks are nice. Your automatic headlamps. You've got a leather stitch dash with Alcantara gauge pod. Beautiful fit and finish. A nice mixture of subtle and very, very well equipped without putting it in your face. So that's, of course, the sort of thing Mercedes is famous for. There's a Bose sound. Heated seats, nice 14-way power seats there. You've got a trunk release, your windows, absolutely beautiful. Of course, front airbags, side airbags, rollover protection. I'll show you that. Let's start it up again. God, I love that sound. I could do that all day. All right, under this flapper here is the manual thing for the roll bar. You can see our things attached to it. There are a screen, but otherwise you can pop that roll bar up. Some guys drive around with that, for stylistic reasons. I don't, but to each their own. I'll turn the AC off for a sec. Before we go away, I should get back behind the seats. I'm not doing my due diligence here. So press this guy here and the seat will roll forward for you, giving you access to your little cargo area back here. And this one, you've got a CD changer, very, very nice. Over here, you've got your books for the car and your front license plate that's never been put on. Nice. These guys here are kind of seat belts for cargo, so it's tough to get under there without a windscreen in place, but here you go. So you can pull these guys out, clip them down there, and now if you've got some sort of heavy cargo or something, that's going to flap around, you can bolt it in and you're good to go. And then when you're done, just store it right back. So nice feature. I'm going to put that seat back, hop in and go for a spin. Okay, you've got your caulk up top, you've got your HomeLink garage door openers, you've got your SOS, which is a German version of OnStar. So if you have a collision, God forbid, a stern German woman's going to come on and ask what the hell is wrong with you. You've got this beautiful Alcantara setup here with the sun visors and headliner. Absolutely lovely. Here's Mercedes-Benz command unit with navigation. Now, no 3 navigation's a little bit like having Pac-Man in your dashboard, but it is there, and it works fine. It's nice. The screen is mint. Of course, it also gives your AM/FM You've got a CD up here, and you know, everything really proper. You also have a couple of nice cup holders, and you can see how well they work to cover your needs. Of course, your climate control. Here's your transmission shift points. That gives you manual, winter, summer, that sort of thing, sport. Over here, this will raise and lower the car. It has what's called the ABC Sport suspension, and what that does is if you're taking a hard left turn, of course it's going to want to go down on the right. Well, this will pump up the fluid into the right-hand shocks, keeping the car level and well poised. Ditto if you turn in the other way. Very, very nice suspension setup. You got these great map pockets in there. You can see it's got the Mercedes-Benz original CD set for the navigation. You've got the accessory cup holder. That thing cost a fortune, so it's a nicer place to put your drink, more stable than these guys, but you can pop it out if you got a customer there on the right hand side, or even somebody you want. Oh, I'm kidding. I love customers. All right, let me get my seatbelt on. Let's go for a spin. So, you know, here I am on a quiet morning in a residential neighborhood with 493 horsepower. It's very tempting to use it. Very, very tempting, but I'm going to delay for a minute and just go on a nice gentle cruise, because of course that's one of the joys of these cars. I mean, they have breakneck performance, handling, acceleration, braking. You know, it's a track monster, but at the same time you can hop in it, drive it gingerly to the public library, you know, collect some information on how to be environmentally conscious, and then you know, drive to Whole Foods and get some sort of organic dinner. So you can really use this thing both ways. You don't have to be an absolute monster about it. But now the good news is, if you do want to be an absolute monster about it, well, you can. Oh man, I could do that all day long. This thing absolutely screams. There is so much torque, so much power. You saw my traction control took over there and slowed me down. It's like having a German nanny in the car with you saying, stop these, don't do these, this is bad. But, you know, you can always turn that off, get the wheel spin going, and just be an absolute menace in traffic. But we're not going to do that. We're back to public library, environmentally conscious, Whole Foods, that sort of thing. And, you know, we're going to be good, law-abiding citizens. So if you have an interest in this car, 2003 Mercedes-Benz SL55 AMG Roadster, give us a call, 239-649-7300, on the web at mercedesexpert.com. This thing is an absolute champion. It's collector level, one owner, 41,000 miles, mint, absolutely stunning vehicle. Thank you so much for having a look. We really appreciate it. Oh, God, I love that. We'll see you with the next one. Take care.